Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Devin Thomas is coming into probably the biggest year of his career, whether he knows it or not. This is his third season in the NFL. Definitely a key year. This is his first season with Mike and Kyle Shanahan. That is big deal because you need to start showing to them that you can be the guy that people thought he could be coming out of college, coming out of Michigan State, being that kind of guy, which is a potential number one receiver on a team. We haven't seen that out of Devin. We've seen flashes of good things. I know coming into training camp, he'd had a pretty good OTA last year. There was hope. I'd read a couple articles by local writers for the Redskins, and they were high on Devin as a guy that could get some things done this year, but even in training camp, he started waffling. He started having problems, and he really, by the start of the season, it looked like Malcolm Kelly was more of an option than he was going to be. So far in OTAs this year, and I should say first, this offseason, there's been a lot of buzz in fantasy circles that Devin is a true fantasy sleeper that a lot of fantasy owners need to pay attention to as a guy that's going to bust out and everything's going to be great for him this year. While I think that still can happen, I do have my major concerns. As I pointed before, I made those points about his consistency and his play that he's had up to this point. Obviously, he did get Donovan McNabb. This is a great pickup for him, a great opportunity for him. Santana Moss has HGH problem. He's expected to have a suspension at some point here to start the season. We're assuming that's going to happen. So that's another reason to say that Devin has an opportunity to be productive on this team. But is he going to get it done? And so far in OTAs, the coaches really just are not impressed with what he's doing right now. He hasn't been that consistent producer that's hungry and showing that he's wanting to break out and have a good season. And they're not saying great things about him right now on this team and with this offense. So the more it looks like it, the more it's like, boy, maybe every day Terrell Owens is looking a little bit better for this team. If Devin can't pick it up, this, again, is a very key season for him one way or the other. For fantasy, as long as he can hold on to his starting job as we're getting to the start of the season, if he can start showing some flashes again and getting maybe better graces than he is right now with Kyle Shanahan and Mike again, then I will like him a lot better than I do right now. I still think he can be a fantasy sleeper. I still think he's a guy that you need to pay attention to on draft day. But he needs to win that job, and I could really see his career right now going one way or the other. More importantly, I could see his career really just doing nothing at all. He's a roll of the dice right now, and that's really what a sleeper is. But don't be surprised if it's somebody else putting the production up as we get into the season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in